Welcome everybody. You're watching Let's Be Honest with Nick Norris and Tanner Shortspec. We're a day away from New Year's Eve, so finally wrapping up 2020. Thank God.
Yeah, I guess it hasn't really totally. I mean, I'm glad to have it gone, but I think once March rolls around and like we hit that like for real 365-day mark of kind of all the coronavirus and everything, I think that one.
I mean, it's not even the corona. I mean, what? Less than a month ago, Kobe died. That's really what started it all. Was Kobe dying in the Australia fires?
That was February.
No, January 22nd was my dad's birthday.
That's when. Wow.
Yeah, and then because the fire started end of January, or middle of January.
Mm-hmm.
We've had fires. We've had the coronavirus. We've had Kobe's death, Chadwick Boseman's death. We've had murder hornets running around. I mean, Dwayne Haskins throwing the football.
Yeah.
An equal tragedy. But we can talk about that in a little bit. And then I guess who our favorites are. Because I think the Bills right now might be a hotter team than the Chiefs.
I think I would agree with you there. I like Buffalo a lot. I really do.
What it's like to have a good quarterback.
Yeah, must be very fun. They were patient with him though. Like he was kind of shaky.
Yeah, but he showed signs.
He's always shown them. It's
not like, going back to Haskins. It's not like Haskins who basically regressed, if anything.
Right.
Meanwhile, we got and we'll be joined by Andrew Butts right now, who's coming in for a little bit. Ellie French will be joining us later. Welcome.
Cool.
We'll welcome Andrew right now, if he's there. Oh, there he is. What's up, Bubba? Oh, you shaved.
Hey.
What's up, Butts?
There they are. What's going on?
Nothing much. I noticed Nick got a haircut too
Yeah, Butts, you're all cleaned up.
I know, dude. I had a beard that was like out to here over Christmas, and I came home was just like, I need to shave it. But then I didn't realize that my hair is also like as long as my beard was, so
yeah.
It's very disproportionate.
Yeah, I'm not used to you being all, the hair's kind of flowing a little bit.
I know, dude. It's very long. It's weird.
I approve of it. Did Lauren make you shave, or did
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I
was just tired of. I don't have a very good like beard trimmer anyway, so it's kind of like I just let it go all the way out, and then I just shave it all and do it again.
You gotta get in that Manscaped game.
Yeah, I know. I need to. Or is this sponsored now?
Oh, I hope so. No, I'm pushing. I'm going to start in the new year when I start promoting this. Now that I've kind of figured out the YouTube live thing, because I'm also going to simulcast on what we were doing before, because I think I can pull the audio from everything and put it all together. So.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I'm going to push Ellie, who'll be joining us in a little bit, to get her boy Ogletree on. So.
Oh yeah, definitely. That'd be fun.
Yeah. So he'll be our first big guest, but. Yeah, no, this is our end of the year show. So we were just talking about all the crazy shit that's happened this year. Most of it negative, but you've had some positives in your life. Past month, I guess.
I have, yeah. Got engaged. That's exciting.
Yeah, newly engaged man.
Are we allowed to cuss on this?
Yeah, I'm kind of.
I'm not gonna. Okay.
I'm drinking on it, so who gives a fuck, right?
Yeah, I was about to say, if you have a wine glass in your hand, the words will definitely be flowing out.
Yeah,
but yeah, man. It's been an interesting year, I guess, sports-wise, too. Everything stopped for a little while, and then DJ dominated the Masters. Who do you think's going to win the Masters next year?
Is it going to be like the Masters in quotation marks again, or is it just going to be the Masters? Are they going to allow fans this time?
No.
You don't think so?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. I feel like they would allow like a very small number of fans.
Because I still don't count that green jacket. It should have been like I told them and him and Scoop when he was on. It should have been a vest, not a jacket.
That is a take you would have. That they should have had a vest rather than a jacket.
About the reaction that we got from Scoop on that stage as well.
What do you mean it doesn't count? He still played. The golf course doesn't get any easier or harder. It's still the Masters.
It was definitely easier, and without having the roars and everything, basically it was like them just playing golf at Augusta. It was like the Augusta Invitational.
He still has a jacket.
Like I said,
I
just don't think it should be a jacket.
You would have had a better argument if somebody like Sungjae won, like if and Cam Smith won.
Well, here's my argument, and it goes back to our boy Ogletree, and who played. He played with Tiger and played pretty well. Whereas, do you think he'd have played as well with a million people following that group?
You don't like. That's the thing is that's an impossible argument. Like he could have played better. Like you never know.
I'm gonna go ahead and say no. I got some insider knowledge on that one.
Okay.
She'll be joining us in a little bit, but yeah, I just think golf was nice to have, but it is not exciting to watch. I'll have to say, except for the silly stuff. Like they finally kind of bringing back the silly season, which is usually November, December, and then it all starts in January. I hate all these BS tournaments they have going on right now. Give me more Chuck and Phil running around. I want to see Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods versus Phil Mickelson and Charles Barkley.
I think the only thing I like about golf with no fans is being able to hear the golfers like mic'd up more. It's way more entertaining.
I'll also let them be like truly mic'd up. Like I like hearing Rory go, "Motherfucking goddamn it, Rory," and everything like that. Like every other golfer out there.
Like you.
Yeah, exactly. Or Tiger, how he used to be. How many times did Tiger say, "God damn it, Tiger," or "fucking shit, Tiger"?
A lot.
I mean, that's why Rory does it. So that's what I'd like to see more of. Just these guys show real personalities, because DJ's about as boring as a damn block of wood. That's my problem. We need some guys, Then that's why I like the the fun matches, or the matches as they're calling them.
Yeah.
Is I like seeing, the ball breaking and everything.
That's
or just
true.
Let them gamble out there. Let it like it used to be when Walter Hagen would show up hungover, drive up in his limousine to the first tee and just get out and go. I mean, the golden.
They're definitely gambling's going to take over. Well, it is taking over now, but it's going to be very prevalent very soon.
Well, yeah, and that's another thing. I mean, Virginia, they're working on getting it legalized now that these casinos they're bidding on where to build casinos in Virginia and everything. So that's going to be coming. It's going to be
kind of dragging their feet on the online though. Like I have heard January for the longest time, and here it is. It's going to be January.
Supposedly the coronavirus delayed it, but I think they're voting on online gambling and weed, and they're going to legalize weed and gambling in January, or they're going to try to.
I thought we were good to go on the gambling.
No, they got to certify it, and so I don't know. It's all weird. I don't understand. You're in the weed business, aren't you, Andrew?
Technically, I guess. CBD for animals.
You're hemp weed for animals.
Yeah, pretty much. I told John Willard when I first moved up here. He's like, "What do you do?" And I was like, "I sell CBD oil to veterinary clinics, or to vet clinics." I said, and he thought that I was selling CBD oil to retired people of the military. He was like, "That is the most specific field you could ever go into." I was like, "No, it's for animals."
A bunch of people with the Vietnam War veteran hats, hitting up the VFWs.
Don't tread on me hats. All these old guys. Yeah. That's my clientele.
Old dogs. Bunch of three-legged dogs running around with CBD oil.
Yeah.
I'm sure they wouldn't refuse it.
So are you like a sales rep for them, or is it just, do you guys grow it? What's the deal?
I'm the inside sales manager, I guess, team leader, whatever you want to call it. But I do inside sales for my own territory. And then we have a farm that's in Colorado that we have an exclusive deal with the farmer out there to give us the oil. He ships the oil by the barrel and stuff like that.
Oh, okay. So it's oil. So you don't do any doggy treats or anything?
No, we do make the treats in-house in Portland.
Oh, okay. So is that all it is? Is there pills too, or is there the oils and everything that you rub on them as well?
We have pre-filled capsules. We have just regular oil that doesn't have capsules, and then we have dog chews.
It's so weird. That's so funny. I know dogs that
they don't taste
doggy
very
Xanax
good
and everything. I just picture a dog at the poker table smoking a joint.
That's exactly, that's actually company motto, pretty much. That's the picture on our website is just dogs smoking weed. Does really well.
Aren't you moving to Charlotte though? That's what Jack keeps telling
me. Yeah, at some point. I think it'll be sometime this year, hopefully.
After the COVID shit ends and you can actually do stuff.
Yeah.
What's it like up there?
There's not. I mean,
pretty shut down like the rest of the country.
Yeah, pretty much.
I didn't know how they were doing it up there. Can you still go to breweries and stuff?
Yeah, you can. A lot of places are just built outdoor seating with like coverings, which doesn't really make sense to me because it's like pretty
still
much
the same
inside,
thing.
But the doors are open and stuff like that, and vents and stuff like that. So
yeah, I'm sure you've been up there for a little while now, like multiple years.
Year and a half. So you got last summer. I'm sure the summer. Oh yeah.
Really nice.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. There's so many tourists that come too up here. It's like pretty much from like October through April or May is just like deserted, and then June through September is just packed. Like so many people just influx here.
Do you guys have like friends and everything up there, or do you basically just staying away, just hanging out with her family?
Wait, what?
Do you guys have any like friends that you hang out with up there, or is it just mainly her sisters?
Yeah,
I didn't know like if you like.
Here,
I didn't know if you guys were like isolating truly.
Oh, I mean, I'll go over and hang out with like a couple of guys I work with. We'll like play poker and stuff like that. But you mean during COVID? You don't mean like I thought you meant in general. I was like, no, I just have never left my house in a year and a half.
I got to get the COVID stories in since it's 2020.
I know. But what else happened this year, sports-wise?
Kobe died. We were talking about that.
He did.
I mean, that's essentially, like we were saying, the Australian fires and Kobe dying essentially kicked off this wonderful year.
Yeah, it started it. Jeez. That's what.
Yeah.
Did you see they've coined it now? It's not going to be March Madness. It's now going to be Mass Madness.
Yeah, I saw that they trademarked that so they could.
It's not going to be Mask Madness, but
I think that's what
they're gonna use that.
So, do you think they'll allow fans in?
No, because why else would you make it all in Indianapolis?
I don't know. I guess you kind of could do what like the Super Bowl's doing. They're letting in all their fans are going to be medical field workers that have all been given the vaccine. Which I think is kind of cool.
Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. But yeah, I don't know why. At this point, I feel like why have fans? Like just ride out this year without fans and like have the championship so you can actually have it, and then figure it out once in June or whatever when everybody has the vaccine and stuff is like relatively normal. I don't know why you would risk putting, like he said, go to Indianapolis and just we get that, but. That's why they're selling the masks.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But I mean, it's just weird. It's going to be weird watching a tournament because like the Cinderella stories, I think just are going to kind of like push to the side a little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
because the fans in March Madness, like those places go nuts when when the 15 beats the 2 seed.
They do.
It's like the NBA Finals will be. I mean, would the Heat have been there during the NBA? Like, if
that's another thing I give an asterisk to. It's like freaking a damn little high school tournament they played in. That's like a half.
Yeah, but you have to. Yeah, without the travel and stuff, I feel like it would be easier. But also, like, being that isolated from like family and everybody, and only seeing your team for like 6 months would suck compared to like
sometimes.
Yeah, unless you're James Harden.
Yeah, or Lou Williams,
or Dwayne Haskins.
Trust me, I'm getting ready to roll into that. I was so happy. I was so mad. I did so much rage tweeting during that game. It was bad.
I love all the random comments that show up my Facebook feed of Nick just going at people's necks on Facebook.
Well, I really went after somebody because this will tick you too off, Tanner. Someone commented, and this was like on my comment that said, yeah, Danny Boy and Jerry are probably the worst owners like ever in like the NFL right now. And I said, no doubt. And this guy comment goes, "What are you talking about? Jerry's 1,000 times better than Dan Snyder. I mean, the Redskins haven't won anything since the 80s." And I was like, "What are you, 12? I'm pretty sure we won in the 90s for one. And past 25 years, both teams have done absolutely nothing." I got so ticked off. I was just
we're
like,
pretty much on par with them. Their Super Bowl run ended in 96, and our last one was in 92.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're pretty on par with them.
Giants, Washington, Dallas against the Bills, the poor Bills.
Not poor anymore. They look pretty good.
Oh my God. That's another thing we were just talking about. I think they're the hottest AFC team right now. I think I'd put them above the Chiefs in my power rankings.
Yeah, just like the Chiefs can just turn it on whenever they want. But
except I feel like they rely too much on like the big plays.
Yeah. The other team, this is an AFC. The other team you got to look out for is, and I know they played the Lions, but the Bucks, like, if you look at their roster and who they have.
Oh, if everybody's healthy.
Bay, yeah, they're pretty scary.
Yeah, I got them playing the Ravens in the Super Bowl, so that was my pick at the beginning of the year.
I was about to say the Ravens are another team that nobody's really talking about them, but they do have the former MVP as their quarterback, so it's not like they're absolutely terrible.
And everybody's starting to get healthy again.
Yeah.
I think the Ravens are gonna, and thanks for the Jets to beating the Browns. They're now the 5th seed. They're not even the 7th seed anymore. They jumped way up.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many 10-6 or 5 teams right now in the AFC picture right now. I think there's 5 of them. So
yeah,
I'm confused how the time. I gotta watch my Steve Kornacki Sunday night.
Yeah, Tennessee, Indianapolis, Baltimore, Cleveland are all 10-5, and the Dolphins.
Yeah, and the Dolphins are at 10-5. Who's outside looking in?
Teams in the hunt are.
I guess the Colts would be.
The Colts.
Yeah.
The Bears, maybe.
The Bears are actually no. The Bears jumped the Cardinals because the Cardinals lost, but they got to play the Packers.
Is Cliff Kingsbury really that good of a coach? Can we
I'm going to say yes, he is. I think in college it's different because you can only coach with the talent that you have. But when you get NFL caliber talent, it's a whole nother story.
What was his record at Texas Tech though?
Not great. 7-6. It was always right above 500 every year.
Yeah, he was right at 500 every year. I don't know. I just think it's crazy that he was touted as this really good offensive mind.
But he is, because they put up 50 points a game, but then against the Big 12 where they don't play defense, so every game was 60-50.
Very true.
He also had Pat Mahomes as his quarterback.
I'm not a fan of his. I don't know. I was watching the game. I guess they played on Saturday, right? They were playing. Yeah. Who'd they lose to?
The 49ers.
I do think Kyler Murray's hurt.
Okay, maybe he is hurt, but he's supposed to be the offensive guru.
Hey, don't be hating on my boy CJ Beathard.
They were I just don't like the plays he calls. I don't know.
Yeah. How about that game being on Amazon Prime?
Oh my God. I was that's where it's going. I wouldn't be surprised when the next CBA if Amazon buys the rights to Thursday Night Football.
Well, they said that was
your football team.
That'd be cool.
He wants to get in.
I want Bezos. I'd rather have Bezos than Danny Boy.
Oh, I mean, it's a pretty good.
Because I do think Bezos would be more hands off when he had to be. Unlike Dan Snyder drafting everybody, he went building a fantasy team instead of building a football team. Dick. But yeah, I think that's where it's going. But the thing that pissed me off about that is I can't just easily change the channel. I can't just flip it to.
About to say the exact same thing.
It's so annoying that on Amazon it takes I gotta change the damn source, or I've got to exit out of the Amazon app and then go to a game and then really log back into it.
Yeah, I honestly didn't even watch it. I honestly didn't care about that game at all. So that's partially why I didn't watch it. But I saw that this was a test run because Amazon, like you said, is going to get in the running for the TV rights whenever they come up. So
they're going for Thursday Night Football because the big networks don't want Thursday night.
Yeah.
But it makes so much money that they kind of have to throw their hand at it. But if they don't have to anymore, if someone can do it for them, then they'll just sit back and relax.
Yeah. If they could get smarter about the scheduling for the Thursday night games, that would be a big help. And I know you can't predict the Eagles looking like a good team and being what they are this year, just as like one example. But
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like in the middle of the year, there were so many just like games that nobody cared about.
It would be nice if you could. It'd be nice if you could flex the Thursday night game, but that's just impossible. Like you could flex an 8 o'clock game to a 1 o'clock. Right. Yeah,
they'd be so pissed if they got flexed into the Thursday night game.
That would be so funny. You let them know on like Tuesday
but that
night.
Would be that's what it should be. The Jets should have to play like on Thursday night, like every night, or the
Bengals I don't want
without Joe Burrow.
Break it to you guys, but the NFC should probably just play each other Thursday night every week.
Oh, how dare you put the Jets in over us? Hey, we got one of the best defenses in the league. We just had freaking Dwayne Haskins for 6 of the games this year or whatever, losing it and making me lose my freaking mind. The fact that he was still on the team for that game.
Are they going to draft somebody?
So what I'm reading is we're either going to, well, we got Alex Smith 1 more year. We'll probably draft a guy that like in the second round. It better not to be if it's Justin Fields, I'm going to lose my mind. And speaking of which, we have one more person joining us right now, welcoming Ellie French to the show, who has not met Andrew before, who's actually in this league.
Hello.
If she joins. Oh, there she is. Hola.
Hi.
Hello.
What's going on?
What is your background, Nick?
Irish pub.
Like just generic Irish pub. Is that it?
Pretty much.
COVID took Nick way too hard, so now he just sits by himself on Zoom in a bar.
I gotta go virtually to a pub.
Yeah.
Right. Because you're sitting, you don't have to wear your mask or anything. So.
I kind of want to get a background. That's what I need.
It is what you need. They have the live backgrounds, like they got the beach backgrounds and everything.
Did you really just search like on Google generic pub?
Yeah.
Or, like,
no, I just searched Irish
yes,
pub.
He did.
Oh, Irish pub. Okay, good. There you go.
100%.
I'm so sorry for being late.
I know. How dare you?
I was enjoying a nice steak dinner, so I couldn't miss with that.
Well, that's nothing wrong with that. So how are you doing? How's your flight back to the DC area?
It was good. I went from Dallas to Atlanta and then Atlanta to Reagan, which wasn't terrible. So not bad though. Just early. I had to get up at like, I think 6 something, like 6. Well, I got to the airport by like 6:20. So I think I got up at like 5:30. Not a long day, but not bad.
Oh shit.
How are you guys?
I'm doing good. What were we just talking about before you jumped on? What were we talking about? Dwayne Haskins?
We were talking about Dwayne Haskins, yeah.
I was asking you who they were going to draft.
Oh, yeah. I don't know.
I
don't want Mac Jones, and I don't want Justin Fields.
She get the dude from BYU.
I mean, I'd take him over those two in a heartbeat. I wouldn't mind Kyle Trask either.
I don't want to reach. I would not want to reach. I don't want to reach. So the defense is where it's at. And I was thinking about this to myself a lot over the weekend after that showing. And Detroit and Atlanta are both going to be opening up
Stafford
for head coaching jobs. And I don't know if anyone's going to take those necessarily with like Matt Ryan or Matt Stafford attached. I don't know, but there's no one in the pipeline for them either. So they probably want to maybe draft somebody in group.
Could we do a package deal? They said Julio Jones was on the market. Could we do a package for Matt Ryan and Julio Jones?
We'd have to probably give up a lot for that.
I would.
Yeah, you probably give up your whole defense to the Falcons.
Regardless of their age, we'd have to give up a lot. But I don't know. I'm like a Mac Jones believer, but
like I said, I want Devontae Smith on our team. I'd do whatever to get that guy on my football team.
Well, that might be lose, unfortunately, because win Sunday night. And
yeah, what's the difference if we lose tomorrow versus winning tomorrow? I know we go to 19.
Between the 19th pick in the draft and probably, I don't know exactly, but it'd be more like mid-teens, like maybe 4 or 5 picks. Because there's going to be some 10-win teams in the AFC that don't make the playoffs.
So, are you a Vegas fan now, Andrew?
Travel.
You didn't travel with the team?
No, but yeah, I am. Them and the Phoenix Suns.
The Vegas Raiders?
Yeah.
So you were an Oakland Raiders fan before then?
Mm-hmm.
What made you a Raiders fan?
So I always grew up. I grew up in Virginia, so my dad was always a Vikings fan for some reason. My brother was born in Charlotte, so he's a Panthers fan. I never really liked the NFL or like followed the NFL. And one year they're like, you just have to pick a team. So I just picked the team that came in last place, which was the Raiders, like 5 or 6 years ago.
Okay, that's
I'm a diehard Raiders.
What possessed you to pick the worst team? Were you like eventually?
Because Andrew.
Because I was like, I did the same thing with the NBA. That's why I'm a Suns fan. And look at us now, 9-0 over like 290 days. But no, I was just like, I'm not going to be a band. I'm not going to have people say I'm a bandwagon. So I like the Raiders when they were bad. And then like 3 years later, they went to the playoffs and looked good until Derek Carr ripped his leg in half and they lost. So tough.
At least you have Marcus Mariota as a backup, though. He's a good backup to have.
Yeah, he's a good backup.
Had to make this decision.
What?
How old were you when you had to make this decision?
Like 19.
Oh, okay. All right.
It wasn't 19. Like 8. I don't know. It was after high school.
It was not during college.
It might have been before college. Nick, I forgot a lot about college. It was probably before college. And it was definitely like after sophomore year of high school, probably.
That's when we joined the Raiders bandwagon, all right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Solid.
I definitely wasn't like 7. Like, oh, I'm going to be the Raiders because they're
that greatness.
Like, when you're a kid, you just gravitate toward like, oh, whoever has a good quarterback. So like all these people, like all these kids now are Kansas City Chiefs fans.
Yeah.
Yeah. Same with the Warriors. Steph is a big draw.
So they like the Ravens and stuff. So I'm like, oh, maybe that's why. But I'm like,
ever since I was 14, I just love Derek Carr. He's just my idol.
Fresno State, baby. There you go.
Is that where he went?
That was sarcasm. I hate Derek Carr. Go ahead.
So the Dwayne Haskins, did you guys already have that conversation of who's going to
Not really. I'm just glad he's gone.
Yeah, I know. Well, I like texted you about it and then you called me and you were like, oh, okay, yeah. And I was like so surprised. I thought you were gonna be like, what?
I thought you said he like was gonna like he like hurt himself or something, or got like a DUI because he was driving angry or something.
Did you see the Dwayne Haskins news or something like that?
Yeah, you hear exactly what you said. I'll go to it. It was, oh, where is it?
Probably because it had like a bunch of like.
It said it was OMG, the Haskin news. Holy shit! I was like, I was thinking something way different than he got released.
Huh?
It was of him getting released.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not super shocking. It was more just kind of the timing.
Why couldn't it? Should have happened at halftime. I wouldn't have let him come out. I'd have kicked him out.
He ran back home after the game he dodged the press.
Like a little bitch.
And then had to do the Zoom from his house.
Yeah. That I think was the final straw. Because he didn't even hang out with the team after the loss. And I think they were all like, all right, we're getting rid of him.
Yeah.
Because everybody's like, well, they should have put him on IR. I just think the whole team wanted him out of the freaking area. So
I feel good though, knowing that like the organization, it seems like just isn't putting up with any crap anymore.
Oh, thank
God.
They
did though, because if they weren't putting up with crap, they would have cut him after.
That's what I'm saying. There's another argument I got with on Twitter. Somebody called me out for saying you can't just call out the organization. They're clearly. I go, they had 4 weeks to cut this motherfucker, and you're really going to wait that long?
Well, I will say we do want to go to the playoffs. As a fan, like ultimately my goal was to go to the playoffs. You know, hindsight's 2020. So you could say, oh yeah, we knew he was going to suck. But
I did know he was going to suck.
At that point in time, he probably gave us the best chance to win.
Bullshit. I had to run a wild card the entire game with Logan Thomas.
PM on Sunday, he probably gave us the best chance to win over Heineke. And that's
Logan Thomas would have been a better product.
Yeah, that's the only reason he was on the team.
So would you guys rather like make it to the playoffs as a wild card and just get throttled in the wild card game and say you made the playoffs, or would you rather be bad and get a draft pick to like make it further?
Well, we kind of already screwed ourselves out of a top 3 pick, so I just want to make the playoffs.
Okay, fair enough.
I think our defense is good enough to win games. I think we're good to keep us in games, and not necessarily to beat the best teams, but I do think we could win week 1. I think we could win the wild card weekend with our defense if everybody's
Who are you going to play?
It'll either be the Seahawks or the Bucks.
You're going to win that game?
The Rams, or did the Seahawks jump the Rams?
Oh, probably.
I don't know.
Well, if the Seahawks jump, it'll be the Rams or the Bucks. If we play the Rams again, I'm fine with that.
The Rams versus the Bucks is very different.
Yeah, I think we could put pressure on Brady though. And if you watch the games that he's struggled in, is with teams that were able to put pressure on him. And it's not like he can move.
They seem to be though, like peaking at the right time.
Yeah, but they've only beaten teams. I picked him to go to the Super Bowl or to win the Super Bowl. So, it's not like I'm against the Bucks. It's like I'm a Brady hater.
No, but I mean, you're not wrong. His defense is extremely impressive. So,
except our secondary
factors can, well, yeah. So, I mean, the Niners had a really good, like, more defensive front last year, and their secondary is still garbage, and they still made it to the Super Bowl, but of course they choked. So,
Well, yeah, when you have Jimmy G who can't complete a pass in the freaking fourth quarter,
he better be gone next year. I'm so done making excuses for him.
You're gonna that's where you and I differ. I immediately throw my quarterback under the bus. I'd not be a good head coach or GM. I'd have so many people fired within like after the 1 week of disaster.
Shanahan is still like being questioned about him though. He's still like, oh, he's going to be our quarterback for 2021. Like,
well, he's got to show. He can't show his cards.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm like,
I mean, they tried to get Tom Brady, and Brady said no.
Yeah, did they actually really though? I don't know.
Yeah, it was. I mean, he wanted Brady, and his final list was 3 teams. It was the Bucks, the Colts, and the Bears.
I feel like Jimmy's going to go back to New England, and we're going to end up with like Matt Ryan or someone.
I don't think Belichick wants Jimmy G.
He loves Jimmy.
He would take him in a heartbeat.
Oh, I don't know, because I don't think Belichick, being his ego, trades him if he really believes that he was the second coming of Tom Brady.
Well, he didn't want to trade him. That was the whole narrative. That's why the fallout between Kraft, Brady, and Belichick happened. Was he found his diamond in the rough in Garoppolo, and he was ready to hand him the keys.
But I think Jimmy G's shown that he's not that great. Obviously, the Cam Newton experiment hasn't worked. He's got no arm left. He can't throw the football more than 20 yards.
The funniest part living up here was before Cam Newton got here, you would have thought Jared Stidham was like Jesus. Like you would have thought that he was the best thing in the entire world, and then nobody's heard of him since. He evidently hurt his knee pretty bad. Air quotes.
Whatever. He's fine. He's like married to like the owner of the owner of the Rockets' daughter or whatever.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Where do you find these fun facts? Where do you find this information?
See, Tanner knows all like the useful sports knowledge. I know all the useless sports knowledge.
Oh, I'm very.
I keep up with how much my life sucks. That not only am I not an NFL quarterback, I'm not married to some billionaire.
I did know that one as well. I did have that one.
So funny.
It's so funny that you mentioned like football players' girlfriends or like wives. Because I was just looking up AJ McCarron's wife today.
Oh my God.
And I was like, I wonder if she's still gorgeous. And I'm like,
the best was
there
was a sign at game day. This was when I was in high school. I think it might have been for the Iron Bowl. No, it wasn't. It was the Georgia game. It was Georgia at Alabama, and Alabama at Georgia, and these Georgia fans had like, posters of AJ McCarron's mom, and we're like, and they kept trying to hide them. It was the best thing ever. It was her in a bikini, because apparently his mom's pretty hot. MILF.
Wow. Is he still in Houston?
What?
Is AJ McCarron still in Houston?
Yeah.
Idea.
No.
I still had AJ McCarron being a great quarterback. That is just one of those guys that was at the wrong draft at the wrong time.
He got in the game like not that long ago, and I remember. Yeah, I think he might be Deshaun's backup still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, but
underrated college QB though.
Oh, for sure. He was one of those most Ohio State and Alabama quarterbacks where you're shunned because of how great your supporting cast is. Mm-hmm. But I do think Justin Fields sucks and is overrated. And we'll probably draft him. But we better not. Do not want an Ohio State quarterback.
Yes, we'll see.
I guess the Jets stick with Darnold, right?
That's what I think the plan is going to be anyway. I think he's good enough. If it's not Lawrence, I don't think you should get anyone but him. They got hurt with the CJ Mosley opting out was big for them. That hurt. They had a couple other players opt out on defense. But, they've got the draft capital from the Jamal Adams trade, so I think they can make something happen.
I bet they draft Devontae Smith to give him a weapon.
They need one. As much as I love Jamison Crowder, you don't want that to be your number one.
You love Jamison Crowder. Dude fumbled every other punt he tried to pick up.
Probably less than Steven Sims Jr.
Oh, don't get me started. And that was another thing because that's another need we need is a freaking return man.
Life.
Yeah. Otherwise, we just need somebody we shouldn't just have anybody back there. We should just let it just roll to wherever it rolls to. It'd be better.
So who would you like to see in a perfect world Washington get?
Devontae Smith.
Okay.
Well, Trevor Lawrence in a perfect world, let's be honest. But
like
outside of him, Devontae Smith.
Realistically, in a perfect world, like
Devontae Smith.
Okay.
100%. I've been saying it for like 8 weeks now. That's who I want.
Yeah, pass catcher period, I think. Like, I don't know if it would be reaching to try to get Kyle Pitts. Like at 19, if we were to make –
Who's the kid that didn't go to LSU this year?
Jamar Chase. But he is potentially the number one receiver on the board, so I don't see him falling.
Nick, did you just say that you've been thinking about that since week 8? So for literally week 8, you were like, God, I wonder what draft pick we're going to get. That's like your fandom?
No, I was thinking out what draft pick. I was trying to just say who I want. Yes. I watched Devontae Smith play one game. I was like, yep, that's who I want. And ever since then, I've been Devontae Smith for Heisman. That is my campaign.
Post Jalen Waddle injury, though, that you were like, okay, he's legit.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Well, because all of a sudden, Jalen Waddle's not there, and you're like, well, I wonder how he's going to do getting double teamed the entire time. Didn't do anything. He just runs by everybody.
If he doesn't win the Heisman, I'm not going to be happy, but I feel like he probably will.
It's going to go to stupid Mac Jones.
No, I really don't think
so. I don't think so either. I think he'll end up getting it.
I think just because if you look at the numbers, Devontae Smith literally has accounted for half of his stats. Well, it's not like he's throwing into tight coverage.
Isn't whoever it seems to be the trend because he just won AP Player of the Year, right?
He did just win AP Player of the Year, yeah.
But if you don't get me started on that, because Luka Garza won AP Player of the Year and then lost the Naismith or whatever.
There's so many awards out there, though. Like, there's a Maxwell. Like, I don't know if they've done the college football awards yet.
No, they haven't. They started doing the coaching one. No, that's just the AP stuff.
The linebacker award. The best linebacker.
Yeah, they just do them at random times.
Butkus. I believe they call that the Butkus. But I don't know if I don't know if those have come out yet.
No, they did. I swear the guy from Tulsa did.
They came out with finalists.
I think he won it. The guy from Tulsa did. No. And then he opted out, because Mississippi State's playing them in a bowl game, and I was like, that's good for them, but they suck anyway. So
have you got to go to? You went to the Ole Miss game, didn't you, or was that the Mississippi State game?
I went. No, yeah, I didn't go to any Ole Miss games. I went to the 2 Mississippi State games. One like covering it. That was Mississippi State, Texas A&M, which I wasn't super impressed with Texas A&M in that game, except for their running back, who's super, super good. I forget his name. Texas A&M running back is very good. And then I went to the Mississippi State Auburn game, which was terrible.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was good for the last game.
That was low scoring. I remember that one.
It was so boring, but it was like. But yeah, I don't know. I kind of was like, because my friend was there and she covers Auburn, and she's like, I really don't want to cover like a coaching hire, but that's probably what's going to happen. And
how about Boise State coach going there? That did no one want the Auburn job?
I don't know, because I think they interviewed a lot of like decent.
I actually think it's a good hire.
I think it's just not a flashy hire, which is why people it's not like they got Sarkisian or something, which some people were like, oh, maybe they'll get him or Hugh Freeze or something.
I think the fan base was starting to kind of like revolt on the down low at the possibility of them promoting Kevin Steele, the DC, to a head coaching job. I don't think anyone was on board with that.
Yeah.
And they got scared.
Yeah. I don't know much about the Boise State guy, but we'll see. It's Auburn, so.
Yeah, just another coach to get annihilated by Nick Saban for the next 5 years.
The big question is, when is Nick Saban gonna retire?
When he drops dead from yelling on the sidelines, when he just keels over.
Someone meaning our main anchor Lindsay, who used to be our sports guy for like 20 plus, like basically 30 years.
Oh, the guy who does the pool.
Yeah.
I need to do that.
He thinks because Saban's from West Virginia, that when they have their series with West Virginia, which is in like 2025 or 2026 or something, he thinks he's going to leave after that. I don't know why. So.
You think Dabo will go there?
Dabo to Bama?
Yeah.
Hell no. No chance.
You don't think Bama throws the damn bank at him?
He already has.
Not any more than Clemson's thrown at him.
But he did play for Alabama.
He is a walk-on receiver.
Still played there.
So did Jeremy Pruitt. And I was like, my dumbass was like, oh, man, hope Pruitt doesn't get good. And, Alabama's going to poach him his dream job. That ain't going to happen.
Well, hey, it took Dabo a while to get it together at Clemson.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he had success pretty much right away.
Pruitt, on the other hand, right, is terrible. And's an idiot. And's a horrible interview.
Well, you got to get quarterbacks. That's the name of the game.
Yeah, or you're like Fuente, who gets quarterback after quarterback, and he loses
Taj
quarterback
Boyd.
after quarterback.
Yeah, Taj Boyd, Deshaun Watson, and Trevor Lawrence. That's why that program's gotten so good.
After Saban.
Oh, and who is the one in between that left like Missouri or whatever?
What's his name? Kelly Bryant.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, screw Missouri. They cost me a damn bowl game this year. It should be going on right now.
So were they at fault?
Yes, they were at fault because they all went home. So all the Iowa players stayed on campus for Christmas and everything. And Mizzou sent all their players home to celebrate with their families. And half the players came back with COVID. And they're like, oh, we can't play. And I was just like, well, thanks for letting us know. Or we'd all gone home for the holidays.
Which one was that supposed to be?
It was today. It was the one in the Music City Bowl in Nashville.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Freaking
Did you watch the Wake Forest Wisconsin game today?
Did you watch the no, I was at a winery. Shocker.
But not when they tied it, that's when I was watching.
Wake's quarterback threw like
three
four interceptions on 4 consecutive possessions. And they were the worst passes I've ever seen in my life.
Did you watch the Redskins game against the Panthers?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's why you haven't seen the worst passes you've ever seen.
Was that Sunday's game?
Huh?
That Sunday's game?
That was on Sunday, yes.
Okay, so that was the Dwayne Haskins bye game.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was driving back from Virginia, Nick, so I was in the car for 13 hours.
I wish I was in the car with you, I'll have to say, instead of having to watch that fiasco. I just stopped watching and started playing Call of Duty. I just raged out of the game. It was because I'd flip over and then it'd be him just like throwing it to like nobody or right to the other team and then like crying on the sideline. Oh, what a loser. Anybody deserved to get corona was him.
So looking at, like the bowl games coming up, what are ones that you think are like toss-ups?
Well, I can tell you right now, it's not the playoff games. So I think they're both going to be blowouts.
The one that I'm kind of curious about is the Cincinnati-Georgia game.
I think Cincinnati wins because I think Cincinnati has something to prove, and Georgia's going to be like, oh, who cares? Kind of like when UCF beat LSU or Auburn, whichever one it was.
I think
who beat who?
Was that the Peach Bowl?
Yeah, it was in Florida.
When UCF beat LSU?
Or was it LSU or Auburn? Which one did they beat?
They beat LSU.
And then they claimed they're like the national champions or whatever.
I would love nothing more than for Cincinnati to beat Georgia, but I don't know if that's going to happen. Are you
fishing for picks right now, Ellie? Is that why you're asking this?
No, I have mine are good.
I haven't been a Cincinnati fan this year. I don't know. I'm kind of.
Oh, yours looks very similar to mine. You got Kentucky beating North Carolina State?
No, the only one I have on that side is Clemson. Literally, that's it.
Oh, Clemson. Okay.
Yeah. Indiana, Ole Miss, I'm curious about too, but
I think Indiana beats Ole Miss because they're pissed off.
Probably.
They're disrespected for sure.
I got Oregon beating Iowa State.
I think the game tonight is going to be honestly a toss-up just because like everybody opted out. They're basically like playing half of their.
Wait, who's the game tonight?
Oklahoma, Florida.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But Trask is playing.
Yeah. But like
did his entire offense not play?
His best 3 receivers are all opted out.
Well, we're gonna see how good he is then. This is actually a good showcase for him if he doesn't have his top 3 receivers there.
It could also show the depth that maybe Florida has for next year.
I think Florida.
How was Northwestern playing Auburn?
Yeah,
Northwestern. How does that make sense?
Well, the fact that Iowa State is playing in a New Year's Six bowl and Indiana is not is such a crock of shit. It's
okay. None of the bowl games. Some of them make sense, but a lot of them don't really make sense.
None of them make sense. It's all freaking TV money is why.
Some of them make sense, but a majority of them don't because of the whole teams opting out of not.
But the fact that Indiana's used as, and we talked about this last week, Tanner, as basically the reason for Ohio State being that's their best win. Meanwhile, Indiana's sitting over there with 1 loss, and they get shafted and are playing on the 30th and not a big Super Six bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what Kiffin said. He kind of was like, "Why are we playing Indiana? Why did Oregon get a new?"
I just wish they would do it 1 plays 4 and 2 plays 3 in the playoff, and then you just go 5 plays 6, 7 plays 8 in the last bowl. I understand it's money in conferences, but that would just be so Northwestern and Auburn doesn't look appealing at all, just because Northwestern's ranked 11th and Auburn's not that good, I don't think.
But then again, Northwestern's quarterback is shit the bed recently, so it could be interesting. I just think I still think it should be 8-team playoff. I'm sick of this 4 because I'm sick of, especially this year. It's such a joke. Teams like Cincinnati. If Notre Dame gets blown out and everybody's like, well, if Cincinnati played Alabama, they get destroyed. Well, if Notre Dame gets destroyed, I want to hear their excuse for that one.
Go ahead.
Just the fact that Notre Dame barely beat Clemson at home without Trevor Lawrence. And they had to go to overtime. And then they have Trevor Lawrence on a neutral site, and they just get absolutely wrecked when they're supposedly the top team in the nation or a top team in the nation.
My argument against the 8-team playoff is I feel like college football always prides itself on the best team in the country wins every year or most every year. But the more teams you add to it, then if Cincinnati wins the national championship, it is entertaining, but they're not the best team in the country. Alabama and Clemson are the best team. But if
they beat the best team in the country, why aren't they the best team?
I mean, yeah, you're saying that, but what if they get to the championship, are they the second best team in the country? I don't know. I just feel
well, if they knock off, if they make it 8 teams and they knock off 2 of the top 8 teams in the country. I mean, Cincinnati did beat 3 ranked teams this year. They did win their conference. They did everything a team's supposed to do.
I'm not. I just feel like you're making
the thing with 8 teams though is it makes recruiting a whole lot different because it's no longer the top. Well, obviously Clemson, Alabama, but then Ohio State and then Georgia or whatever who usually gets in there, Oklahoma. If it broadens the selection, if you make it the winner of each Power 5 gets in. So now the whole recruiting spread out. Now you can go to another one of these schools and you have a chance to play at the big level. Recruiting is not just going to be centralized into the top 3 schools every year.
I just feel like the more teams you add to the playoff, you're getting the hottest team winning versus the best team winning. That's what I don't like about it.
My question is, do you see any team beating Alabama this year?
Clemson.
Yeah, Clemson could. If you have Trevor Lawrence, anything is possible.
Okay. Let me rephrase it. Do you see any team beating Alabama or Clemson this year?
I can see Ohio State.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I think Clemson is going to roll Ohio State. Justin Fields sucks and is battling a weird injury.
Why do you say that? Why do you say he sucks?
Have you seen him play basically this season?
Yeah, he led his team to the college football playoff.
He didn't lead him. The damn college football committee led him to the playoffs.
How?
What do you mean how? They beat 2 ranked teams. Every other team had a losing record. They played 6 games and got in. It's the biggest joke I've ever seen.
You would rather see Florida in or Texas A&M?
I think Florida's a better team. If Florida didn't lose to LSU, they should have been in over Ohio State.
LSU sucks. They should not be in.
Florida played had a more impressive season than freaking Ohio State did. Texas A&M had a better season than Ohio State did. Yeah. So did Cincinnati. They played a full season.
I didn't want to see Cincinnati in there.
I didn't either. I think you have the 4 best teams in the college football playoffs based on talent. Based on talent, I think they are the most talented teams.
Well, that doesn't necessarily make the 4 best teams. I mean, LSU has had what's his name? Les Miles was there. They had the most draft picks like every year for like 5 years in a row. They never won it.
Les Miles definitely won a national championship.
He won one. But after that was before he got all those recruits. Then meanwhile, well, I guess Saban initially didn't have the worst teams ever, but Saban still made him his bitch. Everybody.
If they were going to do the 8-team playoff, like this would have been the year to do it. And so
well, that's another thing. Show off. Like everybody's like, well, you didn't see him play anybody outside the conference. Well, make it 8 teams. You got 1 year to do it, but college football moves so slow, or college sports in general. They just can't figure anything. Like they had when March Madness got canceled, they should have immediately had a conference call the next day trying to figure out what they're going to do.
The NCAA moves slow, but at the same time, BYU and Coastal played each other out of thin air, and that magically happened. So it's like, why can't you just say, okay, let's let 8 teams play? Just
because you got a moron like Kevin Warren running the Big Ten.
Well, I've been against the 18 playoff.
About Kevin Warren.
I'm against it too. I think if you were going to try it.
And my reasoning for this was that I don't think it's fair for Alabama to have to put themselves out there against a team like Cincinnati. I think if they show that they're that good and the number 1 team in the country, why do they have to play an 8 seed and risk, getting upset?
Why does UVA have to play freaking UMBC and lose?
But I'll amend it. Selfishly, I've been coming around a little bit on the 18 playoff because you see De'Aaron King get hurt last night. You see all these players opting out. 18 playoff means those good teams like Florida is in an 18 playoff, and we're getting to watch Tony Pitts, Jacob Copeland play in a meaningful game. So I think the bowls are becoming meaningless to the players with all the opt-outs, but if you expand the playoff field, you're not going to have that anymore. And that's kind of selfish to want that just for the entertainment, but I think that would solve. I'm not going to say
you can still keep the
opting out, but they would care a lot more. Obviously,
you can have the bowls be in the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not disputing that, but
I just feel like they should just try it and just see, because like, what if it does? It's like they're afraid to because they don't like. What if it sucks, basically? And like you said, it's just a beat down, and it's like, oh, why don't we just bring the best 4 like we originally had? Like this is why we didn't want to do 8 for this reason. It's like they're afraid of just.
Well, I'm ready to go back to the damn BCS.
Well, I feel like they're afraid of both ends of the spectrum. They're afraid, like you said, that Alabama and Clemson are just going to kill everybody and play anyway, or they're afraid that somebody like Cincinnati would play like Coastal Carolina in the championship, and it's like, how many people are going to watch that game? Like realistically, I know Nick, you'll say that you would watch it because we would all watch the game.
I wouldn't.
But like, it wouldn't draw. Part of the reason they have Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson, and Alabama are for ratings, because Notre Dame and Ohio State have the biggest. Yeah.
At the end of everything, it's a TV show, and that's why these 4 teams are in it, like Ohio State.
Sports is 100% a business, like, and whatever is going to draw in like the money and everything and the viewership.
But once again, they should be getting paid. If anything shown this year, these student athletes.
You act like they're not getting paid.
Yeah, they should be getting paid.
They are getting paid.
They're not all getting paid.
How bad is we mentioned De'Aaron King's injury? Was it like that? I mean, I watched the game, but I didn't really.
I don't think it's that bad. I think
it was bad.
He'll be ready to go they said he'll be ready to go by college football season.
But that backup was pretty good. Like very good.
But that's another thing that's weird about this year, and Tanner and I have discussed this throughout the season. The fact that De'Aaron King can be returning to be a 24-year-old, 25-year-old playing against an 18-year-old kid. I don't know how that's fair.
Well, that comes from like high school and stuff and JUCO, where you can reclass in high school, and some people graduate high school and they're like 19 or 20, and then they go to JUCO, and then their sophomore year of college, they're like 22. What are you doing?
I'm scratching my nose.
Why don't you just use your hand?
You scratch.
I feel like I'm picking my nose on TV.
I just did this like 100 times. That's like me just going up to the camera and just rubbing it.
Just scratch your nose with your microphone.
I did.
That was like impressive.
That was the funniest thing. I wish. Can we clip that?
I mean, yeah, it's gonna be on YouTube.
Did you think that was gonna be
cool? This is those This Is Sports Center commercials where Van Pelt is watching film on himself. Like, what are you doing here?
Oh yeah, and he's like backwards and stuff.
Yeah, she's like, I don't even know where to begin with this one. I think he was with like Jimmy Rollins or something.
God, I miss those. They like tried to like make this is Sports Center commercials again, and they like weren't the same.
Well, it's because everything's like too PC now. They can't even have like stupid fun commercials anymore.
Right.
I don't think they were ever pushing the boundaries with the This Is Sports Center commercials.
Yeah, but they had their moments. But people just aren't funny anymore is the other thing. I stand by that. Like, there's like not like I haven't laughed at I really laughed at a commercial in a long time. Like what was the best? Was it Reebok who had the whatchamacallit? Who was the like office linebacker? Did you ever watch those?
Terry Tate?
Yeah, Terry Tate, office linebacker. Some of the best. That's good. That's good. That's good commercials right there.
Mm-hmm.
So Nick, do you think Iowa will win the national championship in basketball this year, or will you be heartbroken?
Oh, because it's me, I'll be heartbroken.
Tennessee's going to win the national championship in basketball. Let's get that straight.
Aren't they like? They haven't lost, have they?
They have not lost. Number 7 in the country, playing Missouri here in about
I was gonna say
an hour and a half.
What happened to Kentucky, by the way? Speaking about basketball, did he like recruit a bunch of like 1-star athletes that he thought he could turn?
I have not watched.
Oh, they're 5 stars. I guess they're just not good.
They are not good. They only won like one game.
Yeah, they're like 1-6.
Didn't Coach Cal like tell that one player to like not like basically said like just leave the team or something?
Yeah. I can't remember his name. But he basically like kind of basically suspended them.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with them. I haven't really watched them.
I don't know. It's now that it's whatchamacallit, and the fact Iowa just needs if Iowa can't shoot threes, we live and die by the three is our problem. We got a bunch of white boys running around out there that all they do is throw it up, except for like Luka who can go underneath.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Iowa State game. That's the only time I've watched Iowa this season.
Well, yeah, and they slaughtered them.
Yeah, of course.
Because Iowa State sucks. They can suck it. But yeah, we're coming up on an hour. All right, everybody, it's the end of 2020. What do you want to see changed? What's your number one thing you want to see different in 2021?
Without getting too political, open up restaurants.
Oh my
God! I would
God,
agree with that.
Going back, yeah, I'd like to go to a concert. I can't wait to go back to concerts.
I do want to go to a concert too. It's been a long time.
I think my last one was like 2 weeks before everything shut down.
I want to be able to go to like Bourbon again and not have it be COVID like New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I was there for my birthday last year, which was January last year. And
Never been to New Orleans before.
October of this year. And it's just so, I mean, there are still people there, but it's not the same.
Yeah.
It's not the same. So that, and I'd like to get a new quarterback for the 49ers. As pretty as Jimmy is, can't do it anymore.
Oh, I was telling you my number one wish right there is my number one wish would be Trevor Lawrence, but I'm never getting that unless we like trade away our entire defense to the Jaguars.
Would you trade Chase Young for Trevor Lawrence?
Oh, in a heartbeat.
No, thank you.
I feel like why would you do that?
Trevor Lawrence gives you a better chance of winning a Super Bowl than Chase Young does.
I think that's so
How many snaps has he taken in the NFL? You know, how many other there's been a lot of other quarterbacks like Trevor Lawrence come out that haven't really done anything.
Yeah, RG3.
Who we sold the farm for.
Just name all of the quarterbacks you've had in the last 15 years, and that's exactly who they were coming out of college.
Yeah, they were getting pretty bad with
But RG3 would have been good if if Danny Boy didn't like boost his ego into oblivion, and then he have his knees like Derrick Rose himself.
Yeah, the knees didn't help. Help.
What do you want to see change in 2021, Nick?
I don't know. I'd like to be able to go out and do some things. I'd like to make some money. That'd be good. But I don't know.
Only goal for 2021 is to get LaMelo Ball on my fantasy team.
Oh, you're the one that wants him?
Yes.
Oh, shoot. He's been all right, though.
We got
James Harden's pick working out for you now, Ellie.
It has been working out pretty well. I did see, though, something. Where is it? I gotta pull my fantasy.
And then you snag LiAngelo Ball.
I just want all my 3 boys on my team.
Jaw, like that injury to jaw did not help.
Oh, that was heartbreaking.
But it was only a sprained ankle is what they came out with.
Right. I didn't even watch the game, but I just saw that he like got wheelchaired off or something.
Yeah, I was like, the injury was a whole lot. It wasn't as bad as I thought it was. When I saw
he jumped up for a rebound and landed on some other guy's foot and just twisted his ankle.
I was so mad, but then I saw it was like 3 to 5 weeks. I'm like, okay. But then I also saw that. Oh wait, I think I don't even have him anymore. Oh, I think I got rid of him. I thought I had Collins and he had some sort of surgery, but yeah, I don't know. I thought I was doing pretty well in fantasy basketball, but then I looked at like everyone else's.
I am so bad at fantasy basketball. It's insane.
I was like, oh, I got like almost 400 points. And then I look at other people's and they have like almost 600 points. And I'm like,
yeah. John asked me if I wanted to play, and I was like, I'll play, but you can't get mad at me if I give up midway through the season. I always just forget. It's so many games.
That's what's great about fantasy basketball is you can set your lineup for like 3 months.
Not with load management, because by the fourth day, half your team's not playing anymore.
Damn.
We're playing each other this week, Ellie.
Oh, we are?
How funny.
I know. I don't even know like who's who, except. Wait, let me look.
I haven't come up with a team name yet. I got to do something.
Oh, that's right. I haven't done that either.
Yeah, you're in this league, Tanner.
I'm in this league.
Taco Tuesday.
Wait,
this league.
She didn't even draft Taco Fall. I'm so disappointed in her.
What about who's Team Caruso? Does he have Caruso?
Oh,
who is Team?
That is an actual Caruso. His last name is Caruso.
Oh.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay,
the cousin of Alex Caruso.
But then he has to definitely have Alex Caruso.
Yeah, who are these other people in this? I don't know anybody in this league. Well, I know some people.
I have a +3. So
yeah.
Team Caruso, who doesn't have Alex Caruso on the team.
My +2 were Ellie and my cousin.
I think one of my +1s was Long Dong Bonga.
Swaggy P's in this league.
Dylan and John are in it too.
Yeah. No, it was John and I were like texting each other when we were playing when my dumbass switched out at the last second Devontae Parker for Kareem Hunt in week 1 of our matchup, and Kareem Hunt got like 40 points, and Devontae Parker got hurt in like the first freaking play. And so he ended up beating me by 40 freaking points, of course. And we were like, yeah, this is why I play fantasy basketball. And he was like, yeah, let's start a league. And I was like, all right, well, we got like 1 week to figure this shit out, John. And so
John and Dylan take fantasy basketball really seriously.
Yeah.
They're both like pretty good at it.
I'm like kind of excited to try like another fantasy besides football.
The -1 for missed shots hurts though, because drafting Andrew Wiggins was not smart on my part.
I did. The first time I played was like I guess it was like 3 or 4 years ago. Might have been longer, but I didn't know that you got negative points if they missed. So with my first 2 picks, I took like Russell Westbrook and Carmelo Anthony and lost every game. I literally didn't win a game. It's terrible.
I had like no strategy going into fantasy basketball drafting. I'm just kind of like.
None. Yeah.
There really isn't a fantasy. There isn't really like, unless you get somebody who picks up a lot of rebounds and like gets a lot of layups. That's how I drafted Anthony Davis.
I was sitting next to my brother and I took Kyle Lowry, and then I tossed him the phone for my next pick and he didn't look, and he took Fred VanVleet. And I was like, that was a waste of picking 2 guys on the same team.
But yeah, no. And then Jack's all pissed off at his team. And I'm like, why are you so mad, Jack? Like, have you looked at everybody else's team?
I was really not happy with my team, but it's all right. Actually, it's like better than I thought it was gonna be. I honestly was like, I'm just gonna give up anyways about midway through, I'm sure.
That's exactly how I am.
This was what, like a $10 buy-in?
15.
Yeah, 15.
I owed you $5. That's why I'm saying pay me 10.
Oh, okay, fair. But yeah, versus like fantasy football, I lost I was in 3 leagues this year, so I lost like way more money than I was hoping to. Because I'm like, oh, I should win one, right?
I think fantasy football next year, I'm going to stick to one.
How long have we been doing our league for, Andrew?
I don't know.
Like 5, 6 years now?
5 years, yeah.
I've lost in the first round now every single year of the playoffs.
Play harder. You got to play harder.
I don't think I made the playoffs at all for any of my leagues this year.
I've made the playoffs, and I lost in the first round of every playoffs this year.
What's worse, not making the playoffs or losing the first round?
Well, you can't do the punishment if you make the playoffs, so.
Yeah.
I guess you make it.
Yeah,
I think I'm only going to do one fantasy league next year. Being in like 3 or 4 leagues, I'm like, I don't even know who to cheer for.
Well, it's
at this
tough when
point.
you got players from that you're playing against on your other team, and
Yeah,
you're like, shit,
exactly.
I need to play this guy really well here, and then not really well here.
I know.
Like I had Derrick Henry, like I played against him, and he won me my league 1 week, and then lost it at the same time, just because the other guy was.
Oh yeah, I meant to ask you before I go, Nick. What was our Derrick Henry Ezekiel Elliott bet?
So I said it was a 10-year bet. Oh well, we said it was for $100. It was $10 a year. That I can go back. I've got the recording somewhere. I made the joke that it was 1,000, and then you're like, no, we got to do it less than that. It was at the end of the 10-year mark. Derrick Henry would be. I said Derrick Henry would be better than Zeke Elliott, and you said, hell no, Zeke will be a Hall of Famer by.
But it's subjective.
Okay, is it though?
Yes, in my eyes it is.
In your eyes, yeah, no.
I was
said
so
Derrick
adamant that Zeke was going to be better, and he's just terrible.
Yeah. So
you guys made this bet?
We made this our senior year of college, so it was the year they were drafted.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 4 years ago, I guess now.
It's the only correct sports take Nick's ever
had. And that's just because I hate Ohio State and I hate Dallas. So I knew right away my gut instinct was to pick against him.
Fair.
Good point.
But Andy was also just a douche. And that once he got paid, he just did not care anymore. I would never have paid him that amount of money. Tanner disagrees with me.
Elliott.
Yeah, I just would never have paid him that contract.
Yeah, I'm not off the Zeke train yet. I think this year's a wash.
Well, who would you rather have if you could pick between the two of them, Derrick Henry or Zeke Elliott?
I mean, it's Derrick Henry. I'd have to say Derrick Henry right now, but
right. It's hard to say now. I mean, like, or it's easy to say now, but
right.
But let's keep it straight. I said it first, so I said it years ago.
On a high horse
receipts,
but like, watch next year when
Zeke fumbles 10 to 16 times instead of 6.
No, but just like, I don't know. Like I said, you're just on the high horse now, but just wait and see.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it's Derrick Henry ends up being better than Zeke in the long run, just because, like you said, Ohio State and Cowboys. So it's like,
Zeke sucks. All right, everybody. I guess should we call it on me beating out Andrew once again on this show?
Yeah, I've got some high school hoops to watch. Thanks for coming on, Andrew and Ellie.
Thanks for having me.
Luke's playing.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fun. Well, you got to watch Tennessee, Missouri on the side too, right?
I'm either gonna watch it on the side or I'm gonna excuse myself from the high school game to go watch Tennessee at 9. But there's gonna be an hour overlap, so hopefully it's a route at Broad Run.
Oh, it's at Broad Run.
I think so. It's either there or at Dominion. I'm not sure, but there's no fans, so I'm gonna be streaming this on the NFHS network. I don't know if that was clear or not.
Oh yeah, no, I did not get that.
But yeah, no fans. Yeah. No fans.
Yeah, well then you're good. Then you can just like.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, you guys have New Year's.
Yeah, Happy New Year, everybody.
You guys too.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, congratulations on the only person having a good year, Andrew, or good end of the year.
Thank you.
So, peace out, everybody.
All right, bye. Guys.
See ya.
Yeah. Tell Lauren hi.
Will do.